Welcome back. Oh man, we are in for a real treat this week. This TDA is a humdinger. So let's get in there. First, you click on this week's TDA, or you can click on the day of the week. Either will take you there. All right, and then boom, you're going to get your usual pair deck. It's going to take a while to load. It's going to frustrate you, but you're still happy as a clam. Who knew it? And then boom, you're going to see this week's beautiful TDA. All right. And it starts with those, look at those cozy turtles right there sitting around the fire. Got a bunch of books there, having some tea, right? Tea for turtle. And then boom, we got our prompt right here. Let's take a look at the prompt real quick, and then we'll choose two keywords. Theme is the life lesson, the poet. Oh, they're poets and they know what would like their reader to get out of their poem. How do Hogan, Linda Hogan, Dickinson, there goes Dickinson, Emily Dickinson, and Dunbar. Oh, there goes Dunbar, Paul Laurence Dunbar. Develop their theme of nature throughout their poem. Support your answer with evidence from the text. Well, take a moment, please, and choose the two most important words from that prompt. Go ahead. Oh, nice job. All right. So on to the next one. Directions, read the text for the first time and annotate along the way. Gotcha. So it still has the old prompt from last week. It's changed several times. I don't know why it's being so stubborn, but take a look at the prompt real quick. And that is, how do Hogan, Dickinson, and Dunbar develop the theme of nature throughout their poem? So we know nature is going to be a huge part of it. I'm going to put this connection on nature and that on nature. And somehow we're going to have to realize that there's going to be a moral or a lesson or a message. Let's go with message right now. That involves nature in each of these three poems. So, what might be important? Having compassion for animals and nature, showing cooperation to save nature, the acceptance of nature being a particular way, right? We'll have to see what happens there. I'm going to put my check mark by acceptance for now. My question is, how are we going to find is there going to be a story for each poem? Is there like a little story that goes with it? Is there a narrative in the poem? The answer won't surprise you. It's yes. So, this is a poem called The Turtle Watchers. All right. Old Mother at water's edge used to bow down to them. The turtles coming in from the sea, their many eggs, their eyes streaming water like tears, and I'd see it all. Old Mother as if in a prayer. The turtles called back to where they were born. The hungry watchers standing at the edge of trees, hoping for food when darkness gathers. Well, I can see we have some turtles, like a mother turtle laying an egg here, and that goes with our baby turtles. And it seems Old Mother at water's edge. And we have Old Mother repeated. So that seems important to me. So I'm going to put a light bulb there, and then my check mark about theme, the message that you're trying to get to us. Well, I see streaming water like tears, right? Well, that seems emotionally powerful. My question is, why do we have these crying turtles, I wonder? Hoping for food when darkness gathers. Lots of questions for this poem. Let's see how it ends. Years later, swimming in murky waters, a sea turtle swam beside me. Oh, whoa. This guy's swimming in the ocean right there, and there's a sea turtle swimming beside him right there. Let's put a sea turtle swam beside me. This. Both of us watching as if clasped together in the lineage of the same world. It's just seems like an important line there. The sweep of the same current, even rising for a breath of air at the same time, still watching. Wait, my question is, you can hold your breath for as long as a turtle can? Holy smokes. Right? And what seems to have something to do with theme here? How are they developing theme? Well, it seems like there's two characters, right? There's a connection between the guy and the turtle. So I think the connection between the two might reveal the theme. Let's take a moment and go over this important bit. You're going to read the parts that are underlined in red and that are red. So The question is, what do sea turtles and humans have in common? You can answer that without reading this poem. However, the poem also gives you some clues as well. So go ahead and take the time to knock out this vocaroo for this part of the poem. Go ahead. Whoa. All right. Here's the last part. My ancestors call them the keepers of doors, and the shore a realm to other worlds. Both ways and water moves the deep shift of life back to birth and before, as if there is a path where beings truly meet, as if I am rounding the human corners. Oh, well, if you haven't seen Moana, this picture probably doesn't make a ton of sense, but you can see that she's surrounded by this spiritual light, this woman dancing with these stingrays in the ocean, and she's old, so that makes me think of ancestors right here, and that there's this sort of primacy of nature, right? She just seems to be really vibing with nature out there. So I'm going to put a light bulb above her head. My question is, um, what does this mean? Realm to other worlds, the shore, a realm to other worlds. What could that mean? That's worth taking the time, I think, to think on. And then theme. I feel like if I can answer this question here, then I can probably understand this last one, that I'm rounding the corner. What does that mean to round the corner on something? So I sort of got a zoop, 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 zoop. All right. If you could take a moment, and I'd like you to find a place for that question mark for you, just the question mark. All right. So see, you see where I put the question mark. Where do you have a question? Where was something that we could dig a little deeper with for you? Oh boy, I love that music. So there goes our first poem, The Turtle Watchers. And I'm going to put this guy right here. Right. And now I'm thinking, okay, I'm looking at my my word cloud here. A dude standing next to a tree. And obviously nature is a huge part of it. And I see that the sea is a huge part of it. So I'm going to match the sea here, and I'm going to match the sea here. Right? I'm going to look at this painting, this famous painting about nature. I'm going to say, why does that tiger look that way? Look how mad he looks. And anything having to do with theme in any of these pictures, well, I'm going to say the turtle seems to have something to do with the theme in that last story called The Turtle Watchers, or that last poem, rather, which had a story in it. All right, let's read our next poem. Nature is What We See by Emily Dickinson. Okay, there's a title right there. And there's a squirrel right there. Ooh, dead-eyed squirrel. Nature is what we see. The hill, the afternoon, squirrel, eclipse, the bumblebee. Nay, nature is heaven. So take a moment, and I'd like you to find a connection. Take a moment after that, and I want you to find something that you think might be an important part. Then what's something you have a question about, either visually or in the poem itself? And then finally, what connects to today's learning target? Take a moment, please, and annotate this stanza. Oh boy, I might switch up the song after this one. All right. So let's go ahead. And I hope you had a great time annotating. Nature is what we hear. The bobolink, the sea, thunder, the cricket. Nay, nature is harmony. Please take a moment and find a connection. Find the part that seems important in this stanza. Do you have a question about any part of it, whether the image or poem? And then what connects this to the theme, to today's learning target? Take a moment. On your mark, get set, flow. Nature is what we know, but we have no art to say. So impotent our wisdom is to her sincerity. Oof, there's a lot going on here. Let's break this down together. So nature I see here. I'm going to put over the possible eyeball there. Or I guess that'd be a little closer here. There you go. All right. But have no art to say. So I see that they're shouting. So it seems like a pretty artless speech back and forth. Not much conversation happening there. So impotent our wisdom is. And I feel like ours is represented by this human being made of gears and machine parts. I'm going to put that there. Right. And I'm going to say that our wisdom is impotent compared to sincerity. And my question is, all right, why? Why is the left side here, according to the poet, so much more wise and sincere and truthful than the person, humankind, represented by all those gears over there? Right? What's got a theme here? I feel like this image captures it almost perfectly. All right. So you can see here that we have the definitions for impotent down here, unable to take effective action, helpless or powerless. And we have sincerity here, the quality of being free from pretense, deceit, or hypocrisy. One way to think of that is truthfulness. Sincerity is truthfulness. So you need to read the parts that are underlined in red and then answer this question. What would be good synonyms for the word impotent and sincerity? And look, these are synonyms here for impotent. And look, these are synonyms here for sincerity. So you'll be, after you finish reading it out loud, I want you to choose some good synonyms for those words in the poem. Go ahead and take care of business. Okay, whoa. All right. So now we've read two poems about nature, one being The Turtle Watchers, the other one being Nature is What We See. And finally, we've got The Sparrow. I wonder what that's going to be about. I see here we've got some beautiful nature, a real contrast here between a storm and a sunny day. I'm going to put a check mark next to that because it seems to me like that's an important part of nature too, right? It's awesome capacity or capacities. All right. So this is called The Sparrow by Paul Laurence Dunbar. A little bird with plumage brown beside my window flutters down. A moment chirps its little strain, 10 taps upon my window pane, and chirps again and hops along to call my notice to its song. But I work on nor heed its lay, till in neglect it flies away. Go ahead and take a moment, please, to find a connection, then to find a part that seems important to you, then a part that you have a question about, and then take it home with a part that seems close to theme or has something to do with theme. Take the time to do that now, please. Ooh, nice work. So birds of peace and hope I love come fluttering from earthward from above to settle on life's window sills and ease our load of earthly ills. But we, in traffic's rush and din, too deep engaged to let them in, with deadened heart and sense plod on, nor know our loss till they are gone. Ooh, could you find that connection here? Could you please find the part that seems important here? Could you find a part you have a question about either in the images or poem there? And then what has something to do with theme here? This is the end of the poem. All right, take a moment and go ahead. Ooh, drama. All right, and then we're going to do one last little vocaroo exercise, right? And after you read the prompt and you read the part on the left, what are we losing in the poem? And look how we is in quotes there. Go ahead. Ooh, drama. All right, and then we'll start on this next part on the next day. All right, signing off.